Alright, welcome everybody to the Sullust Survival video here I posted. Not too long ago I was able to solo this because at the time I didn't have anybody else to work on it with, and actually I tend to find that most of the time survivals and battles are easier completely by yourself, no AI or partners. I mean, it's just less liability, easier to path the mobs to where you want to go. So this isn't going to be the whole video. I'm not going to show a whole video of me doing the survival because when I did it, it took me about an hour by myself. So mostly I'm just going to be doing this one wave and kind of explaining what's going on. So you're going to want to spend your whole time in this hangar for several reasons. First of all, as you can see here, if you stay in this hangar, you don't come out at all. You can see those TIE fighters in the background there. They are just flying in circles. Now what I've noticed, I'm hoping not just on my copy or whatever, but if you stay in this hangar and you don't exit, they'll stay back there and just fly in circles until you leave. So pretty much makes it so you don't have to deal with them until the very end, which makes this a whole lot less hard because them shooting down on you while you had ATSTs and shock troopers and jump troopers and shadow troopers and snipers was what made this really hard. So if you can pretty much take them out of the game until the end of each round that they're in, it makes this significantly easier. Another good thing about this hangar is that there's a room in the back I'll show you, which pretty much makes the ATSTs much easier to handle once they get back here. That'd be a little bit later when they get up here because it takes them a while. So as you can see, you have a while to take out the soldiers down here before they even make it up there. Some other things that are good to know, as I'm sure most of you have already figured out by now, but the best way to go for drop pods is to wait until you have only one enemy left on the map and go pick up your drop pod, claim it, preferably a droid or a TIE fighter, something that won't try and claim it back. You also want to go out and pick up your shield charges there, or whatever charges you're using. Also the hearts. Just go take care of all that when you have only one enemy left, and that way you don't have to worry about anything. That's really the only time you should ever be outside the hangar, is when you're going to pick up those things, and then you should get yourself back in there. Another thing to know is the TIE fighters come out every third wave, so you can kind of start anticipating when they'll be coming out. Alright, so here comes this ATST. Now if you can get them to walk away and you can get that ion torpedo right in the back, it does a lot more damage. So when you have the opportunity, definitely go for a shot in the back. So anyway, here's the room. You come back here in the room. Now I got a little careless because I wasn't actually trying to beat this. I was just making this for the sake of this video. But you sit in here, you wait here, you get as close as you can to this wall here, and they won't be able to attack you, and eventually they will end up walking away to allow you to pop out and shoot them an ion torpedo, and just rinse and repeat until they're gone. This takes care of them also pretty easily. You can also kind of hide in here for a second with from enemies if you need to, from soldiers, but I wouldn't recommend it. Let's see what else we got. For my star cards, I'm using a thermal grenade, mostly to help out with dealing a little extra damage to groups of enemies, because nothing else really seemed like it would fit there, and I needed something to help out with some of the enemies from time to time. Personal shield is very necessary. It helps for when you gotta go actually get the TIE fighters to come out from flying their loops out there in the back. And obviously the last one is the ion torpedo, which pretty much you have to have for these vehicles. You're not going to want to take out those TIE fighters with anything else, because these ion torpedoes are one shot, one kill. So now keep in mind, if you leave one TIE fighter towards the end, you can go out and get the drop pods and your charges and pick up your power-ups out there, because one TIE fighter pretty much won't kill you. It might hit you a couple times, it might take you down to about 30 health or 40 health, but it's not going to kill you. And with those power-ups, you want to be really careful with those, because towards the end of the survival, you're going to get jump troopers, shock troopers, shadow troopers, and snipers, and you're gonna really need to have good power-ups to take them out, such as blast cannons, thermal imploders, orbital strikes, I suppose. Those turbo lasers you see on the other side, those are also very good for taking out waves of enemies. If you get lucky, as soon as a wave pops up that you know there's not going to be any TIE fighters on the ground, up in the air, jump into a turbo laser. There's been times that I've jumped in a turbo laser and the enemy spawns right next to the turbo laser, and I've been able to take down pretty much the entire wave down in one turbo laser. You don't want to jump in those things when there's TIE fighters or ATSTs, because those things will blow up immediately on the turbo lasers and you'll die if the turbo laser is destroyed while you're in it. So pretty much all the in-between waves I was using turbo lasers and power-ups to take care of the soldiers, and this was the method I used to take care of the waves that had TIE fighters and ATSTs. Another thing you could do is, if you've used your turbo laser to take out a few waves of enemies and it gets low on health, you can actually shoot it yourself and blow it up before the wave's over. Like when you have one enemy left and you're kind of just prepping for the next wave, you could actually destroy it yourself, and after a little bit of time it will fully regenerate itself and it'll be back to full health, and you could use it again. Some advice for taking out some of the soldiers. As with shock troopers and shadow troopers, pretty much just gotta get used to shooting their headshots. Headshots will take out shock troopers really quickly, and shadow troopers you want to keep a distance, because as far as I know, they're using the big heavy shock blasters, the shotgun, like, so to speak, I guess if that's what you want to call it, and they can do a lot of damage. And the snipers, you don't want to be anywhere in their vision when you have 50% health or less, because each shot's going to do 50% of your health. Now, here I got nothing left, so I'm going to take out this last TIE fighter. And when you shoot these guys, you want to wait until they do the loop back, otherwise you're going to miss. As far as shield charges go, you're going to want to preserve those as much as you can. Try really hard to not have to use them, because you're going to have to use one every time you initially get those TIE fighters to come after attack you, because 3 of them are going to be shooting you, and if 3 of them are shooting you, you're going to die. So you need to get their attention, turn around, run back into the hangar, and pop a shield. This is the situation I'm talking about, the turbo laser. They'll spawn right there. You can shoot after them. Sometimes I've had the entire room pretty much spawn on one spot, like where those guys did. I took all of them out, and the turbo laser made the whole thing very easy. Keep in mind the turbo lasers do splash damage, so if you can't see them very well, you can shoot by them and it should do enough splash damage to take them out. That's about all the advice I have. Thank you for watching. Good luck, and I will see you again.